Hello and welcome to Module 6 of EDC 672, Creating and Integrating Technology in the Classroom. This module will cover the idea of mind mapping and how it can be used in our classrooms with students and by teachers. Let's talk a little bit about what mind mapping is and how it can be useful in your classroom practice. Mind mapping is a holistic and conceptual process. It looks at the entire body of knowledge that the student has either prior to instruction, during, or after. It's not analogous to discrete facts and discrete points of knowledge. It's more analogous to the big picture. Mind mapping allows students to examine a concept from many different angles and many different approaches. That said, there is always a central idea or a focal point of a mind map, and graphically that's always in the center of the map, and it's the point from which all the other ideas and concepts emanate. One thing that's useful about mind mapping is it shows relationships. It shows relationships of sub-ideas or subtopics to that main topic or central idea. And it also shows that hierarchy. And typically there is a hierarchy, sometimes there isn't, but usually there is, of those sub-ideas to the main idea. And this is presented in a graphical format, which for many students is very helpful for them to understand because it's not abstract. It's really something that they can grasp very easily. Mind mapping is not a linear process. As I said, it's more holistic, and students are able to approach it from different angles and and allow the ideas that they generate to help them create other ideas in other areas of focus. What are some of the advantages of mind maps? Well, mind maps are a flexible tool. They can be adapted for many ways, for many lessons, different subject areas, different topics can all use mind maps in unique ways. They can be adapted for grade level, for subject area, for student age and student ability. As I said, they show relationships between ideas, which is a very important concept for many students. It's a way to look at things so that they're not abstract and not discrete, but shown in relationship. And mind maps are very personal. When a student creates a mind map, there's a sense of ownership because it's their analysis, it's their ideas put on paper, and there's really not so much a right or wrong, but a way of explaining what a child is thinking or what a child has learned. Because of the process of creating a mind map, retention is increased. So in addition to the brainstorming process and the information retrieval process, because students actively create the mind map, it helps them retain the concepts. So there's many ways mind maps can be used, and they all have their own advantages and reasons why one would use them. So you can use mind maps to outline, and this can be something that you do in front of the class as a modeling activity, or students do on their own, individually or in groups, to outline concepts and ideas that have been studied in the school or prior knowledge. Mind maps can be used to organize as an organizational tool for students to kind of get their thoughts and their facts in a format that's easily managed. Mind maps can be used as a visualization tool, as a way to graphically display information as opposed to using the written word. And finally, mind maps can be used as a planning tool, either by you as a teacher or by students, and it's a great way for students to work collaboratively together to plan their work. So what are the steps to mind mapping? Mind mapping always begins with a blank piece of paper, and it's either chart paper, poster paper, construction paper, or a blank computer screen. It's really you can use templates, but it's really recommended that you use a blank piece of paper to allow the students to develop their own relationships between the sub-ideas and the main ideas. So the starting point is always a central idea. What is the main concept, event, person, or idea that you want to explore? And that goes in the center of the document. usually in a larger shape. Again, this doesn't matter if you're doing this on the computer or on paper, it's the same concept. And that central idea is usually organized or broken down into 4 or 5 primary branches or main sub-ideas that the students can explore. And then from those 4 or 5 primary branches, we develop secondary branches. So it's a very, as I said, hierarchical and logical process where you start with a central idea, come up with 4 or 5 secondary ideas, and then drill down further till you come to tertiary ideas. And when you're done, you can see that the picture really helps students to understand that central idea because of the graphic nature of the mind map. One thing that's helpful for students is adding images or symbols. Be careful that you don't overdo that, and certainly the younger the students, that might be more helpful. Older students can eliminate that or really minimize it and use more text than symbols or graphics.
Of the So let's talk now about what you need to do to be prepared for the next class. First off, you should review all content on the course site on the Thursday tab. Take a look at all the readings and videos there. Go into the Lucidchart website and create a trial account for yourself and spend a few minutes practicing using the software so that when you work on it in class, you have some familiarity with it. Make sure that you can get in, create an account, and learn a little bit about how to use the software. And then finally think about how you're going to integrate that mind mapping software into your lesson. And we'll talk about this a little bit in class and have some time in class to work on it. But I want you to think about it ahead of time. That's the end of the Module 6 Thursday overview video. Thank you and see you in class.